Hi, Nomads. Welcome to the first proper episode of Soon Parted. Today I'd like to discuss the Dangle, and I wanted to tell you about some fortuitous occurrence that happened when I used this template in Keynote to develop this series. It turns out that their default picture is this narrow bridge, which I found entirely appropriate to the subject matter for today's talk, especially. And this comes from my tradition, my faith tradition. The Breslover Rebbe, who was a Hasidic rabbi, is reported to have said something like, this is a paraphrase, the whole world is a narrow bridge. The key is to have no fear at all. Now, this was turned into a Hebrew song that I actually used to sing to my children, and I will not torture you by singing it, but it's a concept that's been with me for some time, and I thought it was poignant and serendipitous that this image came up. Anyway, let me tell you about the Dangle, and this is the first in the series of ways that fools such as myself and his money, their money, are soon parted. So check out this spider, okay? Cute little friendly eyes, right? But check out those teeth. Something that I want you to remind you of. If you let folks know you're desperate, they will dangle money in front of you. And I want to tell you a story. Several years back, I tried to start a sleep coaching business for new parents, especially for new mom. I was new to marketing. I was new to selling services online. I truly had no idea what I was doing, and I was bleeding money because I was buying expensive tools and applications that I had no idea how to use and really shouldn't have been using in the context of a startup. And this is one of the reasons why another series here is called Make That Income Mobile. That's the series, which is going to be another episode of it on next Friday, to sort of document the first successful online service sales that I did. Anyway, I was bleeding money, and at this time, I get this message on LinkedIn. It's, "Hi, Rob, how are you? Is this a new business you started?" And in other words, referring to the sleep coaching business. "Are you working for yourself now? Want to hear more about it? I have people I can recommend and would like to talk about it sometime." And I said, "Yes, I started it last February, but have been unable to gain any traction. It is a sleep coaching business for parents who have babies and children with sleep problems. I offer consultations by email and Skype, and I have a large collection of digital content as well." I did. I wasted so much time creating digital content. I wrote a blog-length post with really great information every day. Nobody was reading it. "I would love to discuss it with you further, and of course I'm interested in making any connections you might arrange." And she comes back with this. "Do you have any time on Tuesday to meet? Do you have an office? My office is in Quincy, that's in Massachusetts, but I can come to you if you want." And that's the Dangle. Okay, what she was offering me had nothing to do with helping my sleep business. She led me to believe it was. In fact, she was recruiting me to get involved in a multi-level marketing company, in a direct sales company, which had nothing to do with sleep. But I was bleeding money and I was desperate, and I went for it. The cognitive dissonance was enormous. I might as well tell you at this point, although I may have planned to tell it later in the talk, that this was a woman with whom I had, shall we say, a romantic entanglement. And especially with this invitation to come meet with her, There was an irrational part of my brain who thought that this was going to turn out into something that it was not. This should have been a tip here. This was, I'm not sure, days later, same day, said, "Hi, Rob, you have a lot of connections here. Let's get to some of them." In other words, this was about recruiting. I am going to talk about direct sales, multi-level marketing, network marketing at some point. I may talk about it a lot, but recruiting is an essential piece of it. I did not last long in this, not because I recognized it for the bad deal that it was, but primarily because of my disappointment in finding out that this was not helping my sleep company, and I thought that it was going to be that. I thought that I liked this woman a lot, and I thought that this might have been an avenue towards rekindling some relationship with her, and my bad on that. It had nothing to do with this, and I suck at sales, so lots of, not necessarily in that order, but all of this was playing in my mind. I could not have been in this for more than a couple weeks after offending and disappointing my own mother and sisters and the few friends I had at the time. And I thought that would be the end of it. And yet 2 years later, I sent her a message, because I send these to everybody who on LinkedIn indicates that they've got a new job. Congrats on the new role. And she came back, "Thanks, Philip." She clearly had forgotten who I was. I was using my business, my middle name, which is I use for business. Adding to what I'm already doing, "Hope you are well." And I said, "I'm hanging in there." And she said, "Would you ever consider being a bucket list coach to help people with events and ect," she meant, etc. "You would be good at that. Think about it. We are having a webinar that explains it. If you would give me your email, I will send you the Zoom if you want to hear about it, at least blah, blah, blah." She goes on at some length. I came back, particularly because of my poor experience 2 years prior. I said, "X, can you tell me exactly what this thing is?" I mean, essentially what I was saying, not exactly in these words, are you effing kidding me? Are you doing this to me again? Now, I didn't look into Bucket List Coach with much detail. It does say at their website that there are 2 ways to make money, which was sort of a red flag. Yeah, you sell licenses for bucket list events, but there's a certain amount of recruiting, and that's what she was trying to do. She was trying to recruit me, and that's a red flag. This was not an opportunity that I wanted to get in touch with. So this is basically the dangle. This is what I want, the main message that I want to convey to you folks. If your world is a narrow bridge, recognize your fear and don't grab at money that is dangled in front of you. Try to compartmentalize that fear and don't let it manifest itself in reaching for the dangled money. And here's the final, most important thing that I want to say. For the love of everything holy, do not dangle money in front of desperate people. I feel so strongly about it, I'm going to say it again. Do not dangle money in front of desperate people. That's all I've got for you folks. I will see you in the next video.